Okay, so September is Suicide Awareness Month. And it's not that I'm trying to sound disinterested, it's just that I don't want to sound gloomy and fucking depressing because I want to be able to give meaningful life advice here instead of trying to make everyone feel bad about what kind of month it is and about the dark topic that's synonymous with the month. Just listen closely. For those of you who are currently struggling with burnout or a lack of self worth, maybe you just look at yourself and you wonder why it is you're not where you wish you were years ago because you thought that years back you'd be at a much further place than you currently are now. Look, you're here. Like, all that matters right now is the choices that you're going to make that are going to impact the present and the future. Those are the things that matter right now. Don't focus on what you didn't accomplish in the past. Focus on what you can accomplish in the present and what you could accomplish in the future if you grind and work hard for it. It's okay to sometimes just say, you know what, I just don't know if I'm where I need to be right now. But remember, you can't linger on that thought. You can't let that thought become the whole thing that drives you and controls how you feel about yourself. Like, I had a similar conversation with Steve a while ago. This is years ago, mind you, but he was like openly venting about how frustrated he was that he felt like he wasn't where he needed to be in life all those years, like 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm gonna tell everyone here the same thing I told him in private and in that video response. Like, it's okay to just say, you know, I'm kind of frustrated that I'm not where I wanted to be. It's okay to be frustrated, but instead of turning that frustration into self-loathing and resentment, like, turn it into motivation to do better. Like, use that as fuel to push yourself through an otherwise difficult day so that you can get out there and grind and kick ass and accomplish what it is you need to do. Because if you're able to turn that frustration into something productive, you're going to be even more efficient. You're going to be even more effective at it because you're going to know exactly where to concentrate that energy. You're going to know exactly what to focus on. You're going to know exactly where your weak points are and how you want to strengthen them so that you can do better and get better at whatever it is you feel you're not great at. And another thing, like, for the people who feel like, especially for the guys, because let's be honest, like, when it comes down to, like, suicide and depression, like, we are, like, a lot of us are fucking overlooked. Like, a lot of it's just because we try to smile through the bad times and laugh at the bad times because we don't want everyone to worry about us and you don't want to seem like a burden to your friends, so you just don't tell them that you're struggling with something. If you're struggling with something that's causing you to question whether or not you still want to be here, please talk to a family member, talk to a trusted friend, talk to someone who you feel will listen. A good friend would rather just allow you to get your frustrations out of your system so that you can feel like it's no longer affecting you as bad than have to attend someone's funeral and then just sit there looking at this person's friends and loved ones and relatives and just look at themselves and go, if only this person had spoken to me about this and opened up sooner. This whole thing could have just been avoided if they had just told everyone what they were going through. But I also understand that for some people it's not easy to open up about their difficulties, about their pain, about their frustration, about everything, because they feel like if they are, like, they don't want to make it all about themselves. The people who are struggling are the guys that just say, you know what, if I talk to people about this, it's going to make them worry, it's going to stress them out, it's going to make their lives hard, and I don't want people to worry about me more than they might already do, because then that makes me feel like an asshole that people are worrying about me more than they might already worry, because then it just feels like I'm dragging them down when I'm trying to just talk to them about something, because it feels more like you're just dumping it all on them instead of just simply saying, look, here's what's going on with me, here's why I feel this way, here's just what's going on in my head right now, so that people understand why it is that I might not seem as energetic and happy as I normally do. It's because I'm just going through the motions of trying to get this out of my system so that I can just continue about my day. And the reason I don't tell anyone about it is because I don't want to feel like the asshole that's trying to ruin everyone's fucking mood. Believe me, it's better just to be that guy for a minute that wants to sit down and have a conversation with your friends than it is to have them wake up one day and get one of the worst phone calls on the planet when they realize that you're no longer with us. Because for whatever reason, all the anger and all the pain and all the frustration, all the feeling of worthlessness and anger at yourself for whatever reason, maybe you feel like you didn't accomplish enough and that's why you don't want to be here. Maybe you feel like nobody loves you or nobody cares about you because you just you don't love yourself, and because you don't love yourself, you feel like everyone fucking hates you, even if it's the exact opposite. And I speak not from some random asshole perspective, I speak from experience. I speak from experience as someone who legitimately had like a lot of problems with learning to love myself and learning to be better to myself. Like a lot of it was like all throughout middle school and high school, I was like my own worst fucking critic. And the worst part is it went all the way until my early 20s because I just didn't talk to anyone about my fucking problems. But when I finally decided, you know what, I just don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to keep feeling like everything I do is going to blow up in my face anymore. So I took the time to go to therapy. I just decided to disconnect myself from all the sources of stress and self-loathing and fucking worthlessness that I felt, and I realized that once I did that and I surrounded myself with people that cared about me and actually talked to them about my problems, I realized just how many people did care. I realized just how valued I was as not just people's partner or their child or their relative, but also as their friend. And that's what allowed me to just look at myself and think, you know what, it's okay to not be where you're at right now. It's okay to not be where you wanted to be. Just so long as you know what you want to do. If you have a general direction and you can just go, that's good enough. At least to start. You get the ball rolling. Like, as I might have said before in a previous take, like, if you're the reason that someone smiles today, you could be the reason that they're still here tomorrow if they're struggling. Make sure that the people around you know how much they mean to you. Because they might not be around for long.